Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters. And Shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathen. Now, this lesson is going to be based on these foreign nationals that got killed in a Delhi fire. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and the Lord's will, you are edified. It says at least 21 people have been killed and dozens injured after a fire tore through a multi-story building in South Delhi, police in India's capital say. Many of the victims were foreigners, including people from South Asia and African countries who had traveled to India for medical treatment or to accompany relatives undergoing care, local media reported. The building in the Malviya Nagar area allegedly operated as a bed and breakfast, catering to patients and relatives of those receiving treatment at a nearby private hospital. More than 40 people were rescued and taken to hospital. It remains unclear how many were inside the building when fire broke out. Its cause is not yet known. The blaze at the Flourish Stay B&B is one of the deadliest in recent years in the Indian capital. The fire was brought under control quite early on. It was contained very quickly. We have now cleared the building and opened it up for the police. Fire Officer A.K. Malik says. Delhi Minister Ashish Sood said authorities were investigating whether the building had the necessary permissions to operate as a bed and breakfast facility, adding that those found responsible for any violations would face criminal action. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his condolences and announced compensation of 200,000 rupees, which is $2,088 or 1,552 pounds, I believe, for the families of those killed, and 50,000 rupees for those injured. Videos on social media showed flames shooting from the building as people gathered nearby. Footage broadcast by Indian news channels showed its exterior badly charred as emergency workers searched the site. Eyewitnesses and locals at the scene told BBC Hindi that upon entering the building, they found many people unconscious, some lying beneath beds in hotel rooms and others collapsed in washrooms. Wasim, who lives nearby and was among the first responders at the scene, recounted a particularly shocking incident. He said he found bodies of a couple in a washroom holding each other in an embrace. Another witness said they performed CPR on several unconscious victims and managed to revive some of them. A shopkeeper who runs a quilt store opposite the building said he spread quilts on the ground below to cushion people attempting to jump to safety. Several people jumped from the upper floors and some survived, he said. Authorities have not yet released a full list of those killed or formally identified the victims. Local media reports, citing officials and other sources, said some of the victims were foreign nationals, including people from neighboring South Asian countries, as well as countries in Africa and Central Asia. Several people in the building were from Bangladesh and other parts of South Asia and traveled to Delhi for medical treatment. Local lawmaker Satish Upadhyaya said. By early evening, the search and rescue operation was nearly complete, but ambulances were still on standby as officials continued clearing debris from the site. Fires are common in India, where building safety laws are often poorly enforced. From factories and coaching centers to hospitals and entertainment venues, many of Delhi's deadliest blazes have exposed a persistent gap between safety rules on paper and their implementation on the ground. Investigations have repeatedly pointed to lax inspections, faulty electrical systems, and buildings operating beyond their approved use. Yeah, but ultimately, this is just yet another show of the Lord's power. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And I believe it was 21 people so far who died as a result of that fire. So those people got punished to destruction, and that judgment for those people who got killed and for those who got wounded or injured, that judgment appeased or satisfied the wrath of the Lord, because that was his judgment upon those wicked people coming to pass, being fulfilled. Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And that fire was the Lord's anger being put on display. The Lord was showing his anger through that judgment. Psalms 9 and 16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Yeah, and there is no getting around the fact that these are the judgments of the Heavenly Father. You know, people want to sit here and say, oh, it was an accident. No, it wasn't. That was the Lord punishing those wicked people that he was angry with. Psalm 79 and 6, pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. And this judgment was yet another example of the Lord pouring out his wrath upon those heathens. Deuteronomy 32:39, see now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And this judgment was a prime example of that. The Lord killed people and he wounded people, and for those who died, there was nothing that could have been done to save them, because the Lord did not want them to be saved. 1 Samuel 2 and 6, the Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And this is the scriptures once again letting you know that these are the judgments of the Lord. It wasn't random. It wasn't an accident. The Lord killed those people. And the Lord is going to continue to kill wicked people with whom he is angry with. Job 4 and 7, remember I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has perished being innocent. So those people who died in that fire were not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. They were wicked, and they got what they deserved. They reaped what they had sown. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. Exactly. The wickedness that people do does have consequences, whether they know it or not. Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for those wicked people, it was their time to die. The Lord sent that fiery judgment upon them, of which they could not escape. And now they are in the spirit world. Isaiah 48:22, there is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. And that's right. These wicked people, they will not experience peace in these last days. Only many great miseries and severe, destructive, and often deadly judgments from the Heavenly Father. The Lord is going to continue to pour out his wrath and vengeance upon these wicked people. They will not receive any type of mercy because they have constantly provoked the Lord unto wrath. 1 Peter 3:12, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. Yeah, so for those of us of the hopeful elect who through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai are doing righteous things, the Lord, he hears our prayers. But for these wicked people, the Lord, he is against them. He's angry with them. And he's going to continue to pour out his wrath, anger, fury, and vengeance upon them. And those judgments may very well come in the form of fires or tropical storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, and whatever other way the Lord decides to pour out his wrath upon these heathens and these wicked people. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to the sincere Aqua, which are the sincere sisters. And shalom to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Shalom.